Yo, what's up? What's good? What's popping? Today we're going to be discussing postpartum depression, PPD, and I will start with the frequently asked questions about PPD. This is postpartum depression. So I'm going to be using PPD in this context for a long time. So I hope now you're familiar with that acronym. So the first question is, can dads get PPD? And the answer is yes, a solid yes. Dads can also get PPD. Is postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression different? The answer is yes, even if anxiety is also a sign of postpartum depression. The other question is, what's the other thing that I saw people were asking about? Oh, can surrogate moms or adoptive parents get PPD? The answer is yes. And I think that in the TikTok platform, a lot has been going on from different people with this thing. Like a lot of people are suffering from it. Mothers from different countries. There's all talk about sunset babies, and it's no longer funny, guys, and that is why you should stick around to listen to everything I have to say, because I really care about your mental health. I'm so big on mental well-being. It's really a big thing for me, and I really want to help you through this, or help your friend through this, or I want you to know what exactly goes on when someone is suffering from PPD. So there is a lot of contributing factors to PPD, ranging from financial, social, physical, emotional. All these come to play when we talk about PPD, because definitely all these things are bound to change when a new person is coming into your life, and you have to be responsible for. The most important thing that you need to understand at this point is that it is not your fault that you have postpartum depression. It is not your fault that you have postpartum blues. It is not even your fault that you have postpartum psychosis. Darling, that is not your fault. Every biochemical, all the dynamics that come into play, they are not your fault. So you do not have to start feeling guilty. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? Why is this happening to me? It is not your fault. It happens, and it is nobody's fault, really, especially not yours. There are three different types of postpartum mood disorders, and the first one I'm going to talk about is postpartum blues, commonly known as dysphoria. I think so. Yes, dysphoria. So postpartum blues usually occurs from 1 to 4 days after you've delivered. The signs are usually bouts of crying. You find yourself crying for no apparent reason. Sadness and anxiety is also a characteristic here. And 50 to 75% of women or mothers that give birth experience this. This is likely to subside after 14 days with absolutely no treatment. And you need a lot of family and friend support in this. So it is good to ask for support in this kind of a scenario. Please remember to do that. Don't go through this alone. It will be easier if you're going through it with your family or your friends. So now we're going to be talking about PPD. This is the second postpartum mood disorder. This is more serious than baby blues. And it affects 1 in 7 new mothers. So the symptoms will develop maybe a week after giving birth, but this is now the tricky part. It can even gradually develop without you realizing, and it can even take 1 year for you to now start seeing that now you have PPD. The signs and symptoms of this include the part where now you feel you're not able to take care of yourself, you're not able to take care of your baby, you have highs and lows and anxiety and a lot of sadness. So now the chances are higher if you have developed postpartum depression before, And well, treatment here is usually psychotherapy and antidepressants. So this is not going to go away by itself. It's not going to just resolve like the baby blues. There's a difference. These are a little bit more severe than the baby blues. So at this time, we are going to discuss the third form of postpartum mood disorders, and that is postpartum psychosis. Guys, this is a very severe form of postpartum depression. It is worse. 1 in 1,000 people. It is also rare. The good thing about it is also rare. So 1 in 1,000 people are likely to suffer from this. Symptoms, the onset of the symptoms is usually just straight out from delivery, taking to a few weeks to several months later. So in this case, the signs and symptoms are delusions, hallucinations, feelings of hopelessness, confusion, severe agitation, shame, all the way to mania. This especially requires urgent attention. It is an emergency, because especially if these signs come in where you feel all suicidal, or you start having the thoughts of harming your baby, this now is something that you need to go to the ER and report, or you need to get someone to get you to the hospital, because it gets worse. There are treatment modalities for this, definitely psychotherapy and other antidepressants. You are definitely going to need hospitalization for this. So I know you're asking yourself by this time, so how do you know that you are having baby blues or you're having PPD? So baby blues, my darling, they last anywhere from 10 to 14 days, where in postpartum depression, it lasts weeks, 2 months, and the symptoms are way severe than the ones that we discussed in baby blues. So if you experience any of this, please seek urgent medical attention before things get worse. We've already talked about suicide. You've already talked about having the urge to harm your baby. If you experience a depressed mood every day, every single day for 14 days, please, love, go to the hospital and get the help. If you're having a lot of anxiety, a lot of guilt, you're having problems concentrating, thinking, or just going on and about the normal things of life, like the normal things that we do in life, just go get the help. Now that we talked about the last part, that is kind of really common even to people that are not kind of pregnant, but well, that have not given birth, I mean. But well, please go get the help. So how do we actually diagnose PPD? We do it through a scale. It's called an Edinburgh postpartum depression scale. It consists of 10 questions, and those questions have answers, and we tell you to choose what you feel in the answer, like what answer best suits how you feel. And then we go about with the marks, and we come up with the closest diagnosis is possible. It can be done by a doctor, it can be done by a midwife, a physician, an obs-gyn. All these play a role in the diagnosis and also in the treatment. We've talked about our treatment modalities, which includes psychotherapy. We've talked about anti-anxiety drugs. We talked about antidepressants, all the way from selective serotonin reactive inhibitors like Prozac, fluoxetine. That is how it is mostly known. Please, I would advise one thing: do not do over the counter now that you're breastfeeding. Although this minimal research that shows that those medicines cross the breast barrier to the neonate, it is still likely to, and the doses need to be adjusted by your obs-gyn or your physician or your doctor. So you need to have them start you on the medication that suits your condition, okay? And then you do not choose when to stop. I can tell you this for free. By the time after you start taking those medications, within 3 to 4 weeks, you're supposed to be feeling a little bit better. But you do not get to stop the medication. It's like taking antihypertensives. You do not stop those kind of medications for yourself. You go to the hospital, let the doctor stop the medication when they feel that now you can stop the medication. Okay, please don't do it, because those signs and symptoms that you think have gone are likely to come back faster than you thought, after you like self stop the medication, if there's such a term anyway. So guys, there are some few ways that you can stop PPD, postpartum depression, from happening. Just a few ways. Doesn't mean that if you're having PPD at this time you failed to do this. Please remember that I'm just trying to help someone in the future. When you first get home, please limit the number of visitors that are visiting you and your baby. Limit them. If it can just be you and your spouse, and maybe just a few of your friends, like just your inner circle, then that is that. Okay, we don't want people coming here and start looking at the baby and saying those weird things that people say, or looking at you and start body shaming you. Just got it. If you can just have just your social circle, your smallest social circle with you, that is perfect. I've already talked about it, like ask for help. That is what I said in the last part. I have your social circle with you, have your spouse with you. That is another thing you can do. Please set realistic goals for you and your baby way before they come. Don't be like, we are going to be living in a mansion, we are going to be doing these kind of things, I'm going to buy these kind of expensive things for my baby, I am going to have gotten back to shape within 3 days. No, darling, you need a lot of activities. You need to do exercise. That is another thing you need to do, exercise. But in the line of setting realistic goals, don't do things that are going to be mentally straining. Like, have realistic goals. Let your goals be smart. Let them be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. All right? And don't do things the way other people are doing them. Just be you. Be your own daughter's or son's mom. Okay? You're not competing with anybody. Just do you. Just do you. Just do you, please. When the baby is asleep, try to get some sleep too, so that when they wake up, you'll have already rested. You won't feel like as if they are bothering you, or they are all loud. No, it won't like be irritating to you. Foster your relationship with your partner. I know the baby is here, but sometimes we tend to so much focus on the baby and forget that we have their father or their mother. Please foster that relationship. Let it continue to flourish at the same time, so that you both are able to take care of your baby. That is going to be very important in this journey. The last thing I would say is to please expect some good and some bad days. Life is changing every day. How I woke up yesterday is not the same way I woke up today. Yesterday was so sunny. It was beautiful and all good. I did everything I wanted to do. And today it was raining the whole day. Sometimes it's going to be sunshine. Sometimes it's going to be storm and rain and a lot of hailstones. A lot of them. And you have to expect those. Sometimes the baby is going to cry. Sometimes they're not going to cry. Sometimes they're going to want to feed. Sometimes they are going to not want to feed. It's life. They're babies. It's just like you, who you are. Sometimes you want to eat. Sometimes you don't want to eat. And they're going to be like that. You're going to have those immunization days where they're going to cry the whole day. You're going to get calls at home to come and check on your baby because they are crying. They need to breastfeed or something. Those are going to be those days. They're going to be sick. They're going to be healthy. They're going to be sunshines. They're going to be... Sometimes you wonder what is going on with your baby. They cry, you want to cry. That is going to be there. It's something that you cannot avoid, and you need to get prepared for that. So with that, I hope you have a lovely day and you have a good parenting life. And please, if you need help, do not hesitate to ask for help. Your life matters to that kid so much more than you could ever imagine. Just ask yourself, what would have happened if your mama maybe gave up on you? You know, please don't give up. If it's becoming too much, get help from the hospital, get help from your family, get help from your friends. Guys, I love you so much. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye now.